All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the third influence we're on today. So we're on our fourth video, but the third influence. We've been talking so much about how our inner world creates our outer world, and we're really trying to drill it into our heads that your financial success doesn't come from your business knowledge, your skills in investing or business or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It first starts with your inner. So you have to change your robotic movements that you have, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So the last influence, so we talked about being verbally influenced. Modeling was the second, and now the third is specific incidents. So what did you experience when you were young? So everybody think about this. What did you experience when you were young surrounding money? So I'm going to share a story from the book. So this is Shay's story. When she was young, she and her parents were at a Chinese food restaurant, and her dad and her mom were fighting about money. Fighting, screaming, yelling about money. And there was so much fighting in her household about money. And her dad ended up having a heart attack right there and died. And so now she has money linked to pain. And she became a nurse, which subconsciously she was trying to save her dad in the back of her mind, right? But she also linked that money with pain. So she never had any, because to her that meant pain was coming. So she took the course, she took the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind course, and she actually stopped being a nurse because it wasn't something that was her passion or gave her joy. It wasn't what she really wanted to do. And she worked on that negative root. You know, she became a nurse because of a negative situation. It was a negative root producing that fruit. And now she has been able to completely change her money blueprint and is working in a job that she actually loves and is happy all the time. So statistics show that the number one reason why people in marriages and people break up relationships is because of money. So not about the money itself, it's the mismatched blueprints. So remember that the money is just the root, the money is the fruit. The blueprint is your root. So there's another story, how people can have the different blueprints. This is straight from the book. So his wife, T. Harv Eker's wife, when she was little, she would always hear the ice cream truck come, and she would go to her mom and ask for money to get an ice cream. And she would say, "I don't have any money, go ask your dad." And her dad would always give her money, and then she would go get ice cream. So she grew up connecting the dots that the men always have the money and the women spend the money. The women don't have any money, they just spend the men's money. So she married this man, T. Harv Eker. His blueprint was he grew up in a household where his dad accumulated money and saved it to a fault. But that was his blueprint. And then his wife was to spend it. You know, you gave her $100 and she spent $100. You give her $2,000, she'd spend $10,000. And they almost divorced over it because it was two different blueprints. They were mismatched. So again, try to comprehend, if you're like thinking maybe issues in your relationship, comprehend that you're dealing with their blueprint. It's not the money. And that's what everybody focuses on, is the actual money itself. It's their blueprint. It's your mismatched blueprint. It's not that money. So instead of getting upset, choose the understanding of it. And we're going to go over an exercise to maybe go over. And David and I do this all the time. We do this all the time, and it's incredible. It's been really good for us. So we'll go over how to do that at the end. So you first have to recognize what your blueprint is set for. You know, we've gone over all the awareness, the verbal, the modeling, and your specific incidents. So recognize what yours is. Really think about what your blueprint is. And the best way to recognize is to look at your results. What are your results? Do you continue to struggle? Do you have money that comes in and it's exciting, but then it's taken away? What is your pattern? Do you have a set amount of money that you are set for? I remember talking to you guys about this when I first went triple diamond, and I was making $10,000 to $15,000 a month, but my blueprint was only set for $2,000. So guess what? I would spend the money, something stupid would happen and I'd have to spend it. Like something would always happen and I always would go back down to 2,000. I lost my rank a couple times and went down to diamond because my blueprint was not set for that much money. It's crazy. And once I reset my thermostat and reset that blueprint, now it's way higher, way higher. And I was able to get to a different blueprint. So think about that. Even money is not the answer. It's within you. That's the answer. Because if you only have a blueprint sent to 2,000 and you go triple diamond and you're making a buttload of money, you're going to lose it all still because your thermostat isn't set to that much. So really think about that. And you guys take notes. If you have things come to your head, take notes. So are you conditioned? Think about what you're conditioned for. Again, it always appears to be something that comes from the outside. Like you might get a great paying job, but then the company goes under, or you make an investment that you think is going to be absolutely amazing and everything's all set up to go, but then it falls through. You might start your own business, but then your partner is a jerk and takes off on you. It can seem like it's all of the outside forces working against you, but in reality, this is your blueprint at work. This is your blueprint validating what it is. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by that. It isn't the outside world. And yes, sometimes things happen, but that just means we have to change our direction. It doesn't mean to give up. It means to keep your blueprint set high. And it just means that that wasn't meant for you at the time. So again, recognize what your dollar amount is. I want you all to write down what your dollar amount is. We all have one that we're set for. And a lot of the times it's because we've had the same job. You know, for me, I worked at a bank. So it was a salary. It was the same paycheck every single month, no matter what I worked. So mine was set for that exact amount for a long time. You can have a blueprint. So there's another story about a guy who was making $500,000 a year, which is a lot of money. That's $500,000 a year. And he went to a Secrets of the Millionaire Mind course and he said to T. Harv Eker, is this for me? Is this course for me? Like, I already make a lot of money. And T. Harv Eker says, well, why aren't you making more? Like, you could be making more. So he took the course and set it for $2 million. And then just 6 months later, he came back and said, holy, I'm already making $2 million a year now. I want to make 10 million. So he set it to make $10 million a year. And a lot of people think of that and they're like, oh, I don't need that. Or like, what would you even do with that kind of money? Well, the thing is, he set up, to him, it was really important for him to give back. He had ties to giving back to the world. And he started his own charity where he now gives back millions and millions of dollars to help children, to help people all over the world. So your money can do a lot of good. And if you can change your financial blueprint, not a lot of people will. That's the thing. Not a lot of people do. We in this group are a small percentage of the world that will actually change that. And the world needs more people like that, that can give back, that can do more. So don't think of those high numbers and freak out and say like, oh, I could never do that. Or I wouldn't ever want that. Of course you would. Of course you would. You have to open your consciousness. And we're going to go over that in a second. So this is something interesting too. If your blueprint is set for low in relationships, if you're a woman, you will attract a man who also has a low blueprint so that you stay in that financial comfort zone. You will even attract friends who are in a low blueprint so that you stay in your comfort zone, so that you guys can all complain about how little money you have together. It's crazy. And it's so true, because when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's how I used to be, 100%. Your blueprint will always validate itself. So again, think about your thermostat. If you're set for 72 degrees, it's going to stay at 72 degrees. You could have the window goes open and it could cool down or heat up. You know, you could make a ton of money or lose a bunch of money, but eventually you'll go right back to where the thermostat is set. So we're going to reset it. That's the only way that we can make it higher, not lower. We're not going to make it lower. We could make it lower. We're going to make it higher. So it's not easy. You guys, becoming aware of this stuff isn't easy. Sometimes it's like a kick in the gut. You think of these things and you're like, oh, yeah, I've been messing up for a long time. You'll start thinking about people in your life. People that don't want to change and are bringing you down. And it's hard. I've had to go through all of this, and it can be very emotional, but I promise you that it is worth it. It's 100% worth it. You know, people think that we make choices based on, or we make changes based on choices. We think that we run our whole life on choices, but it's not. Okay, we, for the most part, are robots, and we're running on automatic. We are doing stuff that's within our comfort zones. We're ruled by past conditioning, so things that have happened to us in our past, and by old habits. Our habits, a lot of our habits that we've had since we were kids, or we've learned them since we were kids. You know, lots of our habits stem from our parents. They stem from what we've seen, our friends growing up. And this is why we have to start to become conscious of all of these things. So it's so crazy to me because actually, I'm going to get into that in a second. Okay, so we're going to go over consciousness. So consciousness is observing all of your thoughts and actions so that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than your past programming. So by achieving all of this, by achieving consciousness, you can live for who you are today and not yesterday. Okay, so you can live for who you are today. We're always changing. You should always be growing your mind every single day. You don't need to live in the past. And this is what I was going to say. I read this quote the other day and I think I made a post about it. This was like a week ago. Anyways, and it said, what if we revisited all of the joy and happiness and all of the good times like we do our traumas, like we do our past? You know, for those of you who have been through those traumas, we know that it's easy to go back there, to go back to those horrible feelings, to go back to the hard times rather than thinking of all the good things that have happened to us and all the joyous times that have happened to us. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So instead of going back to old habits and going back to your old ways, go back to this lesson. Go back to all of the things that you're learning and choose consciousness over your choices rather than turning on robot mode and doing things that the way you've always done. Because there's a reason why you're here, because what you've always done is not working. It's clearly not working, or else you wouldn't be here. Because if it was working, you'd be off doing your thing and making millions of dollars. But it's not working. So you have to be conscious and open to change and to changing your mindset and the way you think of things. Because once you're conscious to see what your reality really is, you can see it just as a recording, just as a recording of your past that's on repeat. And you can choose to let it go. You can choose to let certain people go in your life. You can choose thoughts that bring value. You can choose all of those, but it's hard. It's hard to get off the robotic mode. And again, it all starts with your inner world. And I love this saying, no thoughts live in your head rent free. It either has a cost or an investment. So your thoughts can either move you towards freedom, happiness, or away from it. And it will either empower you or disempower you. You can choose those beliefs. You just have to turn off your robot mode. And it's funny because I see this happen all the time in this business. I've been in this business for 5.5 years, and I see people who will go emerald. They'll get so close to diamond, or they'll go diamond and be so close to double. You know, the jump from diamond to double is a big jump. $2,000 to almost $6,000 monthly. Like, that's a huge jump. And I will see people get stuck at certain levels because they can't move past that limit. I see it, and then they'll quit and they'll make up excuses and we're going to get into that in a little bit, but they'll make up all these excuses of why they're not there. but it's your limit. It's because you've set that cap and you can't, some people just won't bust through it. Do you guys know people who have a certain set of beliefs, okay, and you cannot reason with them? That's their belief, and there's no way that you could ever change their mind because they think this is the way that it is. Oh my God, I have certain people that like, I can't even talk to them. I can't, because it drives me nuts. So I love this saying, nothing has meaning other than the meaning you give it. So and he says this in the book, you have to not believe any of your beliefs. You have to let go of every belief you have, because really we're just a bunch of like meat suits running around this earth with no clue really what's working and what we're doing here. We're just like trying to figure it out, right? And success leaves clues. So why would we keep doing things that aren't working and following people that are negative, that are unhappy? Because those, I'm going to tell you right now, those people who have those set beliefs of this is the way that it is and there's no other way, those people are usually broke and unhappy. I'm telling you, they're usually broken, unhappy because they're complaining about their life and they can't open their eyes to see change. They can't even comprehend that. So they just want to keep doing what they've always been doing. And you guys, get away from people like that. I'm telling you, they're energy suckers. They will suck the life right out of you. So follow the success clues, because the ones that are successful, the ones that write this book, the ones that tell you all the time, we hear this all the time in our top income leader Zooms. They tell us all the time, it starts with the inner work. So let's make a deal, all of us, to become conscious about the beliefs that we have set, the things that we think about money, the things that we think about success, about everything. I challenge you to start questioning all of your beliefs. Because again, nothing has meaning other than the meaning that you give it. And if we can start busting through this cap that we have on ourselves, again, it's going to be hard, because sometimes when you hear the words, like for some of you who are wanting to go triple or presidential or ambassador, when you hear that some people make $50,000 a month in this business, that might set a wall up because your beliefs are a certain way and you can't even like comprehend that. It doesn't even seem like that is something you could ever do. I want you guys to start really being conscious of letting that wall down. Start going back to our first video. Why are you doing this? Why are you in this business? There's a reason why, and there's a really, really good reason why. And start thinking about how much money that you need to make in order to make all those wildest dreams come true, okay? And I'm talking like no limit, okay? Those dreams that sound so crazy that will cost you like millions of dollars a year to achieve. Think about those things. And whenever you start to feel that wall come up of like, whoa, I can't do that, start consciously questioning that. Question yourself, why couldn't I have that? Yes, I can have that. And start replacing those negative emotions that are linked to your past, because those are all linked to your past. Start realizing, becoming conscious and questioning those beliefs and replacing them with a different blueprint, replacing them with the positive, with the driven, with that, hey, if I work hard enough, I can have all of this. And then get out your phone and do your KPI list, because that's the only way you're going to get there for this business. Okay, so we're going to do a couple exercises here. So going back to what we were talking about before with money and relationships, and about how, again, money is just the fruit, okay? That's not the issue. It's you and your partner's blueprints clashing. Because if you both have a blueprint that's set for success, then you're not going to fight over it. If you both have a blueprint that's set for having $0, then I mean, you're just going to be happy with having $0 together, and that's fine. But I mean, we're not here for that. We're here to be set for success. So this is a really good exercise, and me and David do this all the time. at least once a month. And at the beginning, it was something that like blew David's mind. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then he went and quit his job. We started a business, and now his business is like insane. And I think I was telling you guys before, when I was like, I got off this call, I was like, babe, I'm going to make $5 million in a year and it's going to happen. And he looked at me like, are you stupid? We're going to make 40 million a year, Karina. And I was like, okay, you're ahead of me now. Now he is just soaring up there. So anyways, anybody can change, right? So sit down and discuss the history each of you brings to your thoughts about money. So take like these questions that we've done in this book and ask your partner. And if you're single, then this is good information for when you do become in a relationship, or if you ever become in a relationship, because now your blueprint is going to be set higher. So you're going to attract somebody whose blueprint is set higher. And that's the best. Okay. I'm telling you. So what did you guys hear when you were young? What was modeled in your family? Any emotional incidents that occurred? And also find out what money really means to your partner. Is it pleasure, instant gratification, freedom, security, status? This will assist you in identifying each other's current blueprint, and it may help you discover why you might be disagreeing in this area. Next, discuss what you want today, not as individuals, but as a partnership. Again, if you're single, then this is as an individual. But decide and agree upon your generous goals or general goals and attitude with regard to money and success. Then create a list of these attitudes and actions you both agree to live by and write them down. So write down what you want for yourself as a partnership. What are your goals, your attitudes? What success do you want? And then write down what you need to do to achieve this. What kind of attitude do you need? What kind of actions do you need to take? Write them down. And you guys, I need to start doing this again. I was doing this for a while where I had these flashcards and I had it beside my bed. I spilt water on it, and then I just need to make a new one. I'll do it today. Anyways, on the flashcard, I had what I wanted for my life. So in the front, it said, let's use health and fitness for one. Like, I want to be healthy, have a fit body. I want to live long. I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to I just want to be healthy. So I wrote that on the front. And then on the back, I wrote the kind of person I need to be every single day to achieve that. What kind of person do I need to be every single day? Well, I got to get up early, because if I don't get up early, then my kid keeps me busy all day, then I'm exhausted and I don't want to work out. So if I get up early, then I can work my business. I can do a quick workout. I can be healthy. So I got to get up early. I got to drink a lot of water. I got to eat healthy, and so on and so on. You get the picture. So with financial success, what kind of human being do I need to be if I want to make $1 million a year? Okay, well, I cannot be lazy. I got to get my ass out of bed before my kid wakes up, because if any of you have a kid, you understand what I'm even saying. I don't have to explain that. I got to get up before her. I have to be healthy. I have to be, because guess what? Being healthy helps my mental state. It helps me. If I eat like crap and I don't exercise, I feel like a zombie. I feel exhausted, and I can see and understand why so many people are lazy and don't want to do anything, because we're not healthy. Okay. So that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, I write down all these things that I need to do in order to make that kind of money. I better be doing my list every single day. I better not drink that glass of wine at night, because it makes me just tired and want to go to bed, or it makes me not want to work. There's so many different factors that I need to do. So I write it all down, and then I read it every single night before I go to bed, and every single morning before I wake up, so that it's the first thing that I'm reading before I go to bed and the first thing I read when I wake up, so that it's like stuck in my mind. And guess what? When I was doing this, you guys, I was like a superhuman. That's when I lost all of that weight. I was feeling amazing. My paychecks were the highest that they've ever been. My team was on fire. Like, I'm telling you, you guys, if you can do this with your partner and write down everything that you want and the kind of person you need to be in order to get that. I mean, it's easy to write down all the things you want, but you have to realize you have to change what you're doing, because obviously what you're doing isn't getting you there, right? So you have to figure out the things you need to change in order to get that. So that's a fun little activity to do with your partner. So we're gonna take a step back and write down our awareness of any specific emotional incidents. So you can start writing down these things if you want, for going over with your partner or just for yourself. So your awareness, consider a specific emotional incident you experienced around money when you were young. So any fighting between parents, like physical things that have happened that maybe had affected you when you were young. So you're going to take a second to write that down. The 20-20-20 rule, yes. Kim, you know what? I don't know if there's a workbook. There probably is. I'm assuming 100% there is a workbook. I'm literally taking this straight out of the book. So maybe if I were you, I would just purchase this book. It's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It'll change your life, obviously, because that's what we're doing right now. And he says, read this once a month. That's why I kind of want to do these, at least every couple of months, because it's such a good reminder. Okay, so now you've written down your awareness, understanding. Write down how this incident may have affected your current financial life. So think of the ways that it's affecting your current life. And even if it's stuff that we talked about before, like whatever comes to your mind, write it down. Even if it's like verbally, and maybe it's something you remember from before or past lesson verbally or modeling, whatever it may be, write it down. How has this affected your current financial life? So now disassociation. Can you see that this way of being is only what you learned and isn't you? Can you see you have a choice in the present moment to be different? Today, you guys, today is a brand new day. Today is the start, can be the start of the rest of your life, okay? Today can be the start of your millionaire mindset. And I know you're gonna have slip-ups. You're going to. Like, it's just like anything when you're learning. This is like a muscle. You have to train it. You have to grow it. And it takes a little while to get jacked and muscly, but soon you will be if you keep working this every single day. And this is something it has to be every day. And find something that helps to remind you. For most people, it's journaling. Get up early in the morning and journal. Buy this book, you guys, and read a chapter a day. I mean, it's changed my life. It has completely changed my life. And I'm so thankful for the man. I actually want to take one of his courses. I wanted to take one. I was actually looking at his courses right before COVID hit, and there was one in Bali, and I was all excited. I was going to go to it and take my family, but then COVID. So that's okay. Maybe one day. Okay, so we're going to do our declaration. So I want everybody to place their hand on their heart and repeat this after me. I'll repeat it twice. I'll try to go slow. I know I talk fast sometimes. Okay, so I release my non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. Okay, we'll say it again. It's so different saying it out loud. I release my non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. So touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. And we're going to do one more. Hold on. I just got to get to it. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. Place your hand on your heart again. We're going to say, I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. Touch your head. I have a millionaire mind. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this. So you guys be conscious today. Feel free to comment on the posts. If you learned anything today, post your aha moment in the group. I love seeing all that, and maybe we can inspire some people, more people to hop on these, because I know I wish all of my newbies would hop on here, because I feel so many people need to like work on this, work on their roots. So if you guys had an aha moment today, post it in the team page in Diamond Divas or Fearless, whichever one you're in. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. So yeah, let's be conscious today and get those haps up. Remember, we make money by enrolling customers and distributors. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for hopping on here with me. I will post this recording